Alright, let's talk about something that affects millions of Americans but rarely gets the attention it deserves: Social Security's Annual Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA. Here's the kicker: 2027 might bring a 3.8% boost, but before you get excited, there's a web of complexities that makes this number way more complicated than it seems. Personally, I think this is the perfect example of how policy, economics, and human struggle collide in ways most people don't even realize. Let's unpack it. First off, why does a 3.8% increase matter? Well, imagine you're a retiree living on a fixed income. Every year, Social Security tries to keep up with inflation using this COLA. But here's the catch: the calculation is based on data from the previous year's third quarter. In my opinion, that's like fixing a leaky roof after the storm has already soaked your living room. Prices have already spiked by the time the adjustment hits, leaving seniors scrambling to cover gaps. And trust me, those gaps are huge when you're staring down rising healthcare costs. Speaking of healthcare, let's dive into the elephant in the room. Medicare premiums jumped nearly 10% in 2026 alone. That's almost triple the projected COLA. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just a numbers game, it's a daily reality for seniors skipping dental work or delaying prescriptions because they can't afford it. A statistician from the Senior Citizens League mentioned 57% of seniors skipped care last year. That's not just a policy failure, it's a human crisis. From my perspective, this disconnect between COLA and actual expenses reveals a systemic flaw: we're adjusting benefits based on outdated metrics while real people pay the price. Now, let's talk about the wild card here: oil prices. Yep, the volatility of fossil fuel markets could swing the COLA either way. If oil prices drop in the next 2 months, the adjustment might shrink. But if they stay high, inflation, and the COLA, climbs. One thing that immediately stands out is how absurd this dependency feels. Retirees' livelihoods tied to the whims of oil markets? That's a house of cards waiting to collapse. And yet, here we are. There's also a legislative angle here. The Social Security 2100 Act, which has been floating around Congress for over a decade, proposes using a different inflation index, CPIE, that focuses on senior spending habits. Makes sense, right? Seniors spend more on healthcare and housing, two sectors where prices have skyrocketed. But here's the irony: despite bipartisan lip service, the bill never becomes law. What this really suggests is that politicians love grandstanding on Social Security but hate paying for actual fixes. A cynical take? Maybe. But if you take a step back and think about it, this inertia reflects a deeper undervaluing of older Americans. Let's zoom out for a second. This whole situation raises a bigger question: are we even prepared for the economic reality of an aging population? The baby boomers are retiring in waves, and systems designed for a 20th century economy are creaking under 21st century pressures. The COLA debate isn't just about a percentage, it's about how we define dignity in old age. In my view, the 3.8% projection is a band-aid on a bleeding wound. Without structural changes to how we calculate inflation or fund healthcare, seniors will keep falling through the cracks. So here's my closing thought: what if we flipped the script? Instead of retroactively adjusting benefits, why not create a system that anticipates seniors' needs? Imagine indexing COLA to medical inflation alone, or decoupling Medicare premiums from Social Security. It's easy to criticize the current model, but bold ideas are what we need. What's your take? Drop a comment, let's hear how you'd fix this mess.